Hi everyone, it's Tom Buck from the Calder Group here. Today, something slightly different. I've got with me Philippa from Insight 101, who is a branding and marketing consultant, helping businesses to stand out in a crowded market. So Philippa, hello.
Hi Tom, thanks for inviting me.
No, absolute pleasure. I mean, we've had quite a few conversations, and I've probably bored you, Richard, with everything about Calder and what I'm trying to do. Not that I'm trying to get any free tips, but thank you for the free tips. I want to just go through a few things because obviously marketing it's the witch's art, it's the alchemy of the world, and without it we can't survive. But it's amazing how many businesses seem to get it wrong. Is it really possible to make a business stand out, particularly one that's in a fairly uniform area such as accountancy or financial advice? And we're all doing the same work. So how do you make someone stand out and be different?
Great question. And it's one that I've heard before. That's absolutely right. I think there are so many businesses out there, and it could be a printer, it could be an accountant, etc., all doing the same thing. You're right. But of course, it's an increasingly competitive market and world out there, and we all have to ensure that, we are making our mark. And certainly as online and digital has come, we can service internationally now. So the competition has grown. So that is really the reason why even accountants need to think about their brands and how they send out their messaging via their marketing now, because accountancy is changing, the professional services in general are changing, and those who are forward-looking understand that. So the question was, how do you make somebody different? And I think when it comes to accounting or any other business, it's about how you do something. So it's about the people behind the business and the culture and their vision and aspirations that really does translate into the most unique brand. So, there are accounting firms that are very young and vibrant with very young people behind it. And of course, they want to reflect that. They want to reflect that personality and that culture and that sort of freshness, if you like. And that can come through in the way that they look, in the way that they communicate, even the way the website looks, to show that they are slightly different. So there's always a way.
Okay, so we won't mention shirts and while I'm wearing this one. Yeah, I accept I'm not typically dressed as a financial advisor. So how important is the branding? Because is it just a marketing exercise? I'm sadly old enough to remember when BA tried rebranding and it all went disastrously wrong. So is it really that vital?
Well, I think if you think about your life and all of the brands that you buy into, I think you can probably say yes.
Yeah.
Brands are very important because, like it or not, a brand gives you some kind of aspiration, a feeling. There's a reason why you buy one particular brand rather than another. And in that, it's all about what that particular business promises to you and who. So from my perspective, a brand is very important. It not only communicates to potential clients what you're about, how you do things, what they can expect, and also their point of view, their personality, all of that good stuff. But it does help the teams within any business and brand you have to inspire people. You have to have something that they can hang their hats on. You have to have a direction, a vision, a brand statement, if you like, that everybody can buy into, feel inspired and directed, and know exactly what the parameters are. So for me, a brand is not just soft and squidgy. It's about how should we behave? What should we be doing? Should we do this? Well, what would this brand do? So if you give the example of Red Bull, for instance, they're all about high octane, kind of, they're massively sort of into fast sport and everything. And that's come from the actual product itself. But if you look at how they market themselves and the types of events they do, it all works seamlessly together. With BA, I think what was quite interesting there, and I was actually part of the research for BA on the change of the tails.
Didn't tell me that before. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was, and I can wholeheartedly say that when I looked at that, everybody thought it was a marvelous idea because we spoke to so many consumers about it. But I think what happened was that when it got out there, they realised that it actually jarred with British Airways, you know, what everybody knew about it, the Union Jack, you know, it's all about premium, and somehow it just didn't, it didn't sort of follow particularly well. So it does show sometimes that, you know, if you've got it right initially and people know what you stand for, if you fiddle about with it so much like that, then it can really provide that disconnect. So again, it's disconnecting with their audience, which is a big no-no for anybody.
Okay, and talking about big no-nos and audiences, social media, because this is supposedly the way forward. And I, as much as I use Facebook and Instagram, I seem to get it wrong. I mean, is there a benefit? Is there common mistakes, or again, is it down to the brand and the target market as to how much social media you should use?
Yeah, I mean, I would counsel anybody, any business, any firm, whatever size, to be very structured in something like social media and marketing and branding generally. I think the error is that people think, again, it's quite soft, but brand and marketing has quite serious structure in place. So if you are going to do social media, yes, you can mess about and just do the odd post here and there, but it's not going to build to the message that you want to convey about your business and your firm. So I always counsel whoever my client, whatever size they are, to sit down and think about what the objectives are, what they want for their business, and then obviously come back and go, so what do I need to put in place in order to deliver that? So I'm currently writing up my own plan for a launch of my new program, Ignite. And I'm literally going through a spreadsheet and saying, what am I going to do with my social media? Where am I going to post? And what title am I, you know, what am I going to talk about? And that is how granular you need to be. You need to plan it and you need to be very clear about where you're going. And I think that's where they go wrong, because sometimes they get too personal, sometimes they stay very, very cold and corporate. And I think there's a middle ground, or you can do a little bit of both. You need to inspire people, attract them, but inform them as well. The typical journey that you go through, you know, you've got to be recognised, you've got to inform, you've got to get them to evaluate you. So, you know, case studies and all of that good stuff. You know, it's a journey that you need to take your potential client on.
Right. Hence why I've been told I've got to do about 4 to 6 weeks of my social media blogging and newsletters and everything up front. So there's as you say, there's logic to it, rather than Tom Buck suddenly going, oh, I've got this idea and I'll write that today.
Yeah, I mean, even if you just write the headline of what you're going to talk about, you know, because I think doing 4 to 6 weeks worth can you know, be onerous and you just lose the spark, don't you? But at least if you know where you're going.
Yes, no, I'll bear that in. To be honest, I was just going to get a bottle of red wine and sit down and go, right, let's see where we end up with this one. But I like the idea of doing a title and passing it to someone else. So when you come to marketing and branding, I know we've spoken previously where it's, well, you need to be precise. So with Insight 101, what's your ideal client and what benefits can you create for them? So who are you looking to work with going forward?
Well, I have definitely a niche target of accountants, and people ask me why that is in a shocked voice, and I say it's because initially most of my clients up front were accountants, and I found that the change in them as a result of what I did was amazing. I mean, one accountant actually sold their business, and they were approached because somebody loved the brand. But equally, I've had conversations with accountants who said, do you know what, it's helped me to understand why some of my clients just don't work, because they don't fit into the brand of my vision of what I want. So it's helped them to go through their lists and go, they're a pain, and I understand now why they are. We probably shouldn't have them. But equally, it helps them to be able to understand what would be ideal, so that they can start to pump out information and marketing messages that will hopefully really capture them. So yeah, those are the people, accountants that I target. And of course, it's those accountants who understand the power of marketing and brand, and those accountants who've probably grown in recent times and understand now that they want to have more of a kind of brand presence. They want to control their messaging. They want to go beyond the referral and word of mouth, because obviously that's great, but you don't know who you're going to get through the door. So it's taking control of your business and having that sustainable business with clients who are potentially as profitable, but also people that you like to have, you like to pick the phone up to them rather than dread that person. And that can be, you know, that can be the reality of the brand and marketing process. Certainly with a lot of the accountants that I've spoken to, they've just become incredibly confident as a result, and said, before I've had people come up and say, why should you be my accountant? And they said, up until now, we haven't had an answer, and we felt on the back foot, but suddenly we really know what we're about, and we can answer them very confidently, and that's made a big difference.
Yeah, and I can understand that from my point of view. I've been sort of narrowing down my perfect clients, and I'm happy to say I don't think I've got a single client where I go, oh my God, they're about to phone me. I'm very fortunate. So any clients watching, thank you very much. I love you all. But you're right. Work should be enjoyable. It should be fun. You should be working with people you want to work with. And yeah, I'm still intrigued how you can make accountancy stand out and one accountant above another. But I'm sure as
that is the challenge.
You'll tell me how.
I will show you how as well. But yeah, no. Yeah, it's possible, Tom, definitely.
Okay. Well, if anyone wants to speak to you about how you may be able to help, your details will be at the end of the video, and also if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the details. So Philippa, thank you very much for taking time, much appreciated. And
you're welcome. They were difficult questions, but I hope I rose to the challenge there.
You seem to answer them well, and I apologise now for making out that BA didn't work when I didn't know you were involved in it.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, yeah, it's always like that. I worked on Mini as well, and we went back and set new Mini. We said it would never work, so they went on anyway, and it did work. So you know, you can always be proven wrong, and it's putting your hands up, admitting it. That's
it. Always a lesson to be learned, and always a chance to move on. So Philippa,
exactly.
Thank you very much. I look forward to speaking to you again. But for now, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Tom.
Perfect.
Nice. That was very good. You've done lots of that before.